too early to get into the park that I'm going to walk in today. They don't open the gates for another half an hour or so. But I thought I was close enough to come to a place I'd been before where there's some petroglyphs and some inscriptions. Apparently a famous place or favorite place for people to pass in ancient times and in more modern times. Yeah, you can certainly see, I think it's vandalism in the last, 100 years, and it's inscriptions before that. So Tom Scully in 1920, that's okay. And you can see the ancient stuff mixed in too. There's a couple of connected spirals there. There's that's an interesting, it could be a mountain lion. The tail's a little short, but look at the claws, the long body. Another spiral there. Okay, here's a guy I remember. It looks like he's a guy on a tightrope carrying a big balancing pole. That's certainly ancient, and there's a deer or a bighorn underneath him, I think. You can see some again, some pretty artistic inscriptions there. I don't know whether I'm going to believe 1820 or 1920. Looks like it says 1820 for Earl Williams there. It looks more 1920 quality to me. Another Louisville, Kentucky. That's a Mason sign, isn't it? Some ancient squiggles up there. Some finer marks here, and some more over there. I don't think I've seen these before. Never walked around to this side of the rock. Fellow down below with some arranged circles heading up into a squiggly snake. Another guy over here. A couple big eyes. Maybe an owl. Maybe a hand. Humanish, but hard to say. Over here is a clearly sort of a lizard man guy. Little guy with claws. Some more claws down here. Could be a coyote over here. Maybe a bear track down there. And you see some other guys. Wow, it looks like this big rock here has moved in the interim. Something shifted it. Who knows? Maybe an earthquake. I don't know how you get a big rock like this to move. But it looks like it's covered up some of the artwork there in the corner. When I say big, I mean this rock is 20 feet tall and 20 feet wide. Well, I got in the park and I've come to one of my favorite places. I've hiked here, I don't know, 5 or 6 times. And there's a lot of nice petroglyphs here that I've found. And I intend to see some of them today. But mainly I'm coming to look for a couple that I've seen pictures of, but I've never found. And I think I got a chance to find them today. And of course, you can always bump into other new stuff. This whole area was very heavily used by natives, in the last 1,000 years. So, plus it's a beautiful place to walk around. And so, that's what we're going to be doing today. There's no real trails out here, but it's open country where you can pretty much walk around, which makes it very nice. petrified wood. Maybe give you a clue where I am today. Just a word about this petrified wood. It's, you know, most of it around here is dark, like this. You can see it. They more or less look like logs. Sometimes you see bark on the outside. Maybe that's what that is. There are other places around here where it's much more colorful, depending on the mineralization that it experienced when it was buried. But you know, some of this stuff looks almost like it could be part of a branch today. This would be a bit of an old one. Some of it looks like fresh cut wood. But I can tell you that's heavy like a rock. That's not a branch. If I see a piece that looks like a fresh cut one, I'll show you that. Maybe this one. I've seen better ones, but that looks pretty fresh cut. So is this one. And I can mention this stuff is thought to be 210 million years old, if I remember right. The is when these forests were alive, and about the time the debris got buried and started turning to stone. That's a good size log. That's a shiny one. Yeah, I think I know what this is. I think this is selenite or gypsum. There's quite a bit of it you find here in this area. I once found a much bigger piece. Maybe I'll put a picture in of that. But some of the pieces are almost transparent. This one's a little bit thicker. Sort of cool. Well, I'm looking for one of the ones that I've been wanting to see, and I decided I'm in the wrong place. So I'll be moving. Some more of the selenite. Well, you know, if you get out and walk around, and if you're more lucky than good, which is certainly what I am today, then you win. This one has been eluding me and a friend of mine who's been looking for it. But you can see it over there. It's like twin rainbows and some other stuff. Look at that, that's just spectacular. Rainbow on the left has sort of perpendicular spikes, and the one on the right has some lollipops and trees or arrows grown out of it. Wow. There's a hand on top, a pattern, geometric pattern, another one down below, and some similar things on the right. And there's another little one behind it. All right, there's the next one. I found this one the only other time I ever walked out here on this particular spot, and I was shocked when I saw it because I've never seen another glyph like that one, and I had never seen a picture of that one. Subsequently, I have seen some pictures. You know, as a petroglyph guy, you do a lot of research on this stuff. But well, anyway, let's go take a better look at it. The footing's a little tough, so I think I will walk and take pictures later. Well, this one's just a really well-made glyph. Look at those guys. They've got completely featureless round heads Very long, well-defined fingers, 5 on each hand. I can't tell if that's a male and a female. Can't tell. Certainly a male. There's a circle with a dot in the middle above one of the heads. And on the right, there's a rather interesting symbol and a foot. But this is the only one like it that I've ever seen. Pretty steep. Maybe I can make it down that way. Well, there's one over there I've never seen before. You see those big squiggles, and there's a couple other marks. A bit degraded. I think we're coming up on another one. I found this on a previous trip. Again, had no idea it was here. And it's a really nice petroglyph. It's only the second time I've been to it. Look at that. It's like a... You know, there's a whole bunch of little geometric patterns. They have a certain symmetry to them. And they're all enclosed in a big rectangle. There's a little arc. A lizard above that, or a lizard man. This looks like, I've seen that sort of symbol before, sort of shaped like a knife. I don't know what it means. Unfortunately, a bunch of stuff has fallen off here, as you can see. More stuff at the bottom. This guy's only half here, but a very nice glyph. On the back there's some older marks, and it's also come off. Again, that's a very nice glyph. And not too far away from that last one is this one, which I found on the same trip. Also only my second time back to it. First time back to it, second time to it. And this one, I think, is really amazing because the artistry on it is so good. Virtually every element on that is worthy of a close-up because it's so nicely made. All these little plus signs. All organized down in this corner. All these feet, nicely made, tracking right across. This spiral with a long tail. Look at these things. I'm not quite sure what they're supposed to be, but they're nicely made. Looks like an ungulate. A couple more creatures. Here's a probably a female bighorn with a pattern. I'm not quite sure what that's supposed to be. Look at that. Again, not sure what that should be. Maybe a horned toad. Some symbol up here. Uses some negative relief. I also don't know what that's supposed to mean. But spectacular. And just notice near this one there's a little, probably a spiral up there. Not a lot of odd glyphs here, just mainly some fancy ones. There it is. That's the other one I've been looking for. I got a pretty good clue from a friend of mine, which has helped me zero in on it. It really is a beauty. Look at all that stuff. I don't think I'll try to interpret it. I'll just take a couple pictures. I found an arrowhead right at this spot 2 years ago. Very nice one. I believe the archaeologist in charge came and collected it because I can't find it. But there's also pottery around here. Here's a nice piece of white. Here's a faint one. I think I've also been by this one before. Quite old. A lot of elements. See some feet at the top, some circles, some lizards, etc. Well, here's a nice one. I have seen this one before. I didn't know I was going to go by it. But look at that nice, those are circles. That's not a spiral. It's being touched by possibly an animal. There's a guy over here. That's nicely made. I think here in the afternoon the colors are starting to come out better on the painted desert landscape. I'm a little bit annoyed. I put a waypoint here that I'd found pottery in the past. But I'm not finding any now. I don't know whether that means somebody's picking it up, which would be a shame, because this is a place where things should stay like they are. It only gets more barren over time if people walking through take things home. It's public land. You're not supposed to take anything.